It's time for the opening shot delivered by FedEx, where we start at Riviera on a weekend that saw the return of Lefty. And speaking of returns, this week we preview the Accenture match play, where the keyword is play, as in Tiger. He's playing. How will he fare? Stick around to the opening shot delivered by FedEx to find out. Greetings, golf fans. Bo Estes here, hopping in for Mark Fine, joined as ever by the man sitting in this chair, Brian Katrick. Brian, it's a huge week in golf. We start by looking back, though. First of all, let's go to Riviera. Phil Mickelson, he brings it home Sunday in typical Lefty style. It is always fun watching Phil Mickelson trying to close out a tournament, isn't it? I mean, you want to talk about 10-shot differences between his round scores, a couple of 72s, a 62, a 63, alternating rounds. Phil offered this tournament to everybody. Rory Sabatini had a chance at it. KJ Choi had a chance at it. Fred Couples had a chance at the end. Poor Steve Stricker standing there looking on. And then when nobody was willing to jump at the chance, Phil said, you know what, I'll take it myself. Great for Phil Mickelson, because we wondered these last few starts, was he actually getting better? The round scores didn't always show it. He felt like his game was progressing. Now he comes to the end of the stretch of tournaments where he had won. There was 4 in a row tournaments that he had won. This one, he's the defending champion, and he gets the victory. Heading into the week where Tiger's coming back, you just can't get in on any more of an upswing than that. Don't get ahead of yourself here, Brian. We're going to talk about match play in just a moment. But first, we got to look at those standings. And Phil Mickelson making a nice little jump. Yeah, he picks up 129 spots all the way up to 7th from 136. That's the important thing to look at, is that Phil Mickelson was 136th in FedEx Cup points. That's where he was, and it wasn't like this was his season debut. He had played some, obviously hadn't played all that well, but Phil now gets into the top 10. Steve Stricker picks up his second top 10, so he is now in the top 10 in FedEx Cup points. Pretty good year for Steve Stricker to this point as well. Still battling that wayward driver, but he's still getting the job done. Well, one name we don't see in those standings as of yet is a guy named Tiger Woods. This week we head to Tucson, Arizona, Wildcat country, and the baddest cat of them all is coming back for the match play. Interesting choice to come back at a match play event, though. There are pluses and minuses to this, Bo. Tiger Woods obviously has a stellar match play record. He's won this tournament before. He went those 6 years as an amateur where he never lost in match play. He won the 3 straight U.S. Juniors, the 3 straight U.S. Amateurs, defending champion of this event. But much like Phil Mickelson's bad holes won't count against him too much, should Tiger come out with any rust on the game, he said it himself earlier in the week. Each hole is its own individual thing. Matter of fact, each day is it's their own individual tournament. He could have a bad day Wednesday. Should he scratch out a victory against Brendan Jones, he starts from scratch on Thursday. It doesn't matter if Phil's out there shooting 59. Normally, Tiger would be 10, 12 shots back. Not here at the match play. Beat the guy in front of you. Every day's a new day. That's a great place to start with, especially if you have question marks about your game. Big spotlight for Brendan Jones. This is a guy who used to sell used cars to fuel his golf dream, and now he's playing against Tiger Woods. They're playing at the Ritz-Carlton Golf Club at Dove Mountain. Tell us a little bit about this course. Well, it's just across the street from the south course of the gallery at Dove Mountain, where they've been playing this tournament, but it is the same basic golf course now. It's a Jack Nicklaus design. It's a desert golf course. Wayward shots are going to be out in the sand. There's not a lot of adjacent holes. Each hole is kind of on its own on an island. It's big, long. This golf course can play 7,800 yards, but it plays at a little bit of altitude. You know, the fairways and greens type of guys, Bo, not necessarily going to be rewarded here. This is the bomb and slash type of mentality. This is what's going to be rewarded here. You've set us up with what type of course this is going to be. Now it's time for us to make our picks here, and we must mention that another guy, Sergio Garcia, making his return. And Brian, that put me in mind of a guy named Anthony Kim, who had some success in match play last year against Sergio Garcia. Anthony Kim, the guy I'm going with. Who are you looking at? Well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and just go way out on a limb here. Here we go. Tiger Woods. Wild pick. Pretty good track record in events when he comes back from knee surgeries. He's undefeated in events that he comes back from knee surgeries. So Tiger, I'm not betting against you. As a matter of fact, he's told us before he gets ready for tournaments and prepares himself on the driving range. Nobody has spent more time on the driving range than Tiger Woods in the last few weeks. He's been grinding away. He wouldn't come back if he wasn't ready. I don't think you can look past the defending champion. Gutsy pick going with Tiger there, Brian. Appreciate that. Yeah, nice pick. Thanks for logging on to PGAtour.com for the FedEx opening shot. We'll see you next week, everybody.